Alright guys, we're going to jump right back into Julius Caesar. We are in Act 1, Scene 3, so we should be on page 24 of our book. It's the evening in the same street here near the Capitol. We've got thunder and lightning, we've got strange things going on, and we open up with Casca and Cicero. Good evening, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless? And why stare you so? Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? O Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds, but never till tonight till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction. Why, saw you anything more wonderful? A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, and I have not since put up my sword, against the Capitol I met a lion, who gazed upon me and went surly by, without annoying me. And there were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men all in fire walk up and down the streets. And yesterday the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, howling and shrieking. When these prodigies did so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural, for I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon. Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow? He does, for he bid Antonius send word to you he would be there tomorrow. Good, then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in. Farewell, Cicero. Exit Cicero. Enter Cassius. Who's there? A Roman. Casca, by your voice. Your ear is good, Cassius. What night is this? A very pleasing night to honest men. Whoever knew the heavens menace so? Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked upon the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross-blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself even in the aim and very flash of it. But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by tokens send such dreadful heralds to astonish us. You are dull, Casca, and those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale and gaze, and you put on fear and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires, why all these gliding ghosts, why birds and beasts from quality and kind, why old men fool and children calculate, why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures and preformed faculties to monstrous quality, why, you shall find that heaven has infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens, graves, and roars, as does the lion in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are. 'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius? Let it be who it is, for Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors. But woe the while, our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirits. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish. Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land, in every place save here in Italy. I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron, can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure. So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity. And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man! I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome, what rubbish and what offal, when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh, grief, where has you led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent. You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand, be factious for redress in all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest. There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know, by this they stay for me in Pompey's porch. For now, this fearful night, there is no stir or walking in the streets, and the complexion of the element in favors like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, most terrible. Enter Cinna. Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste. 'Tis Cinna, I do know him by his gait, he is a friend. Cinna, where haste you so? To find out you. Who's that? Metellus Cimber? No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna? I am glad on't. What a fearful night is this! There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights. Am I not stayed for? Tell me. Yes, you are. O Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party, be you content. Good Cinna, take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us. Is Decius Brutus and Trebonius there? All but Metellus Cimber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie and so bestow these papers as you bade me. That done, repair to Pompey's theatre. Exit Cinna. Come, Casca, you and I will ere the day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire, upon the next encounter, yields him ours. Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness. Him and his worth, and our great need of him, you have right well conceded. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him and be sure of him. All right, if you want to grab your highlighter, let's talk about some key lines in scene 3. So if we go back to line 91-92 on page 26, Casca says, "Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king." Now this is really crucial because it gives the conspirators some impetus, because now they have a time deadline. Because if the senators install Caesar as king, their plot gets much more dangerous. If you recall in the video that I asked you to watch, Romans just had this natural hatred of kings and tyrants. And so this is just something that they could not stand. Okay, let's look at lines 162, 164. We're on page 28. Cassius says, "Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours." So Cassius is saying, oh, we've almost got him. We've almost got Brutus. 3 parts of him. In other words, 3/4. He's 3/4 there. We've almost got him into our conspiracy. And if we can get Brutus, that's going to be so crucial. So if we read on a little bit, Casca says, oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts. And that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness. So what these conspirators know is that after they assassinate Caesar, they've got to win over the people, or they themselves are going to be either thrown in prison or, more likely, executed. So they're going to need Brutus to win over the people after they commit this act. This is what this is all about, because the people themselves are very fond, enthralled with Caesar. Okay, so Cassius gives Casca a compliment when he says, yes, him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceded. In other words, he tells Casca, hey, you're right on the money there. You're absolutely right that we need Brutus. Okay. So now we've set this up. We've set up what's gonna happen in the next act here. That's the end of Act 1, and we'll see you again. Thanks.